Right, perfect. So, like I mentioned, we've had a few just coming in now. So, welcome again. Happy weekend. Hope you're ready for a good weekend. We've got 3 newbies. We've got Cameron, Owen, and Finn. So, welcome. Looking forward to working with you 3 as well as everybody else. Season preparations, just trying to get you as prepared for the season as we can. So, looking forward to working with you on that. For those that have been before, you know that my technology is not great, so I'm presuming you can see the screen, and I'm presuming if I just go back, so let me pop this. Can you see? If you just pop in the chat box, can you see batting fundamentals? I'm hoping that's what you can see. You just pop in the chat just so I know that you can see it. Brilliant. We've got a lot of yeses. That's brilliant. So. Yeah, so this is going to be very, very similar to Thursday's session. So we're going to talk about a few important points for your batting, and I'm going to show you the 4 activities that we're going to do, or that you're going to do for your batting fundamentals. Okay, so really, really quickly and briefly, we're going to do about setup. We're going to do about picking that bat up and having a full swing. We're going to do an activity on point of contact, so where we're hitting the ball. And lastly, we're going to look at your power position. Okay, so they're the 4 points that we're going to cover to start with, and you've got an activity which I'll go through very, very shortly. So again, to get you involved with it, setup. What do you think we mean by setup? So if you can pop in the comments, in the chat box, if I said to you, your setup, what do you think I mean? There's 3 or 4 really important things about our setup. So how we set up to bat, yeah, can we be more specific? So your stance, brilliant. Your grip, how we hold the bat, that's 2 we've got. There you stand, position, brilliant. Lots of great comments. Where your feet are, your starting position, your grip, perfect. So we've pretty much got them all there. Thank you all. Taking your guard, that's another one. We've got 3 out of the 4 that I've popped in, so that's a brilliant effort for a Saturday morning. So thanks everybody for commenting there. Really, really important that we pop things in there. I really like to see your thoughts. So it keeps it nice and interactive. So if I put what I've got down, so we had how we hold the bat. Now, when you watch the videos, gone are the days where we tell you how you've got to hold the bat. Okay, there's a couple of important things that just allows you to play 360 degrees around the ground, and that when we're playing, our bat can come through nice and straight when we're playing straight. Okay, so we can hold the bat however we like, but there's a couple of fundamental things that are really important to allow us to play 360 and straight down the ground. How we stand, for those that watch a lot of cricket, again, there's no set way to stand. Again, in the videos, we'll go into a little bit more detail about some of the important things for your stance. Okay, but how we stand, some about shoulder width, some a little bit further apart, some parallel, some open, lots of different ways that we can stand. Your head position, now this is the one, and I talk about it on the video, this is non-negotiable for me. Your head position and your eyes have got to be level when that ball is released from the bowler. Okay, and ideally, your head needs to be in the middle of your body, so we're nice and balanced and we can move forwards quickly and backwards quickly to get in a real good position to hit the ball. Okay, so head position is the only one really I focus on for people, unless I see something when you're holding the bat and you're standing that's stopping you being able to play straight and play 360 degrees. And the last one, I think it was Harry that got it, was taking your guard. Okay, now we haven't got a video on that, but taking your guard allows you to know where your stumps are, so when we need to play and when we need to leave, and everybody's got, well, there's certain different guards, centre, 2, 1, which you might cover when you get a little bit older. So that's all about the setup. Right, pick up and full swing. So this is where he tests me again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want to show you Steve Smith. Now I'm sure you've all heard of Steve Smith. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to try and stop the share, and I'm going to try and get Steve Smith on here. If you can get ready in the chat box, if you can let me know if you can see Steve Smith in his one-day Australian kit, ready to bat. Let me just have a look in the chat because it's gone off for me. Yes, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better. Right, I'm hoping you've got your pen and paper. What I want you to watch, I want to know about Steve Smith's pickup of his bat. So in particular, before he starts to swing down to hit the ball, where does his bat get up to? Where's it pointing? And then in some of the shots, I want you to see where his bat finishes. So we're looking at his start point and then the finish point. Okay, you're going to get to watch probably 4 or 5 shots.
Now through the covers, that's a shot of the morning. Or the afternoon, should I say. Lovely cover drive, Smith's away. Wonder his balance.
Oh, it was a good stroke. Quickly onto the length of the ball. We saw him hit a brilliant hook stroke for 6 in Adelaide. Another fantastic full stroke. Oh, and it's Perth maximum too. That's a nice stroke. So powerful through the onside.
It's getting away from the 2, and it will be a boundary. So nicely timed by Smith.
Whispers off.
Well, that's 4. Waited for that beautifully hitched it.
Right, now I've got to get you back. Just give me a second. Pop the chat on as well. Brilliant. Right, so if you could pop in the chat box, you've watched sort of 4 shots there from Steve Smith. I asked you to have a look at where his bat was before he started to swing down, and also where it finished. So if you want to pop in there in the chat box, starts high and finishes high. Brilliant. Can we be even more specific? Where did it, in terms of high, where was it pointing? Where was the toe of the bat pointing? The side as it came back through. Brilliant. Toe is pointing towards the sky. Natalie, well done. Super. That's what we said. Oh, we shot. Yep. Into the sky. Brilliant. So that was where it started. When it finished, now it depended which shot he played and what he was trying to do, but where did it finish when he finished playing his stroke? Some towards the sky. There was probably 1 or 2 in there where he had a full swing. Yeah. Did he have a full swing every time? No, he didn't. Sometimes he was more what we call traditional. So he stopped as he got through. He didn't break those wrists and come over his shoulder. No, that's fine. So I'm hoping you enjoyed a bit of Steve Smith. I know he's an Aussie, but he's a great batter. And yeah, so the 2, for me, the couple of fundamental things, if we kick on, you've got to pick your bat up to generate power, okay? And in particular, a few of you mentioned this, the toe of that bat is pretty much pointing up towards the sky, all right, before he commences his downswing to hit the ball. So that allows him to generate lots and lots of power. Again, his bat doesn't have to be facing a certain way. It's just got to be able to come through straight and allow him to play 360 degrees. Okay, so there's lots of different ways you can get that bat. Steve Smith's a little bit wider, pointing towards the gully. Some will be pretty much straight over off stump. So long as it faces the sky, that gives you loads and loads of power. Okay, and that's whether we're playing. I get what you're saying, Harry, but it's whether we're playing attacking or defensive. Okay, so you'll notice that it's just as the ball's been released, he's getting that bat facing up to the sky, and then he's going to decide if he's going to defend. He can come through and he can defend, or he can play attacking. So that pickup allows him to play every single shot in the book: a front foot defense, a back foot defense, a pull shot, a scoop, sweeps, whatever you like. Okay. Full swing, so not all the time. So I'm not saying every single shot you've got to finish with that bat over your shoulder, but what it does do is it gives you a real good feel of your bat flow, and it does help you develop lots and lots of different shots. Okay, in particular when you're driving and that ball's quite wide, if we do the traditional and stop, we tend to hit the ball in the air. So if we can have that full swing, it allows us to control the ball with our wrists. Okay. And we can, with that full swing, you saw there with Steve Smith, the majority, and this is true for most, went to the leg side when he had the full swing. But as I just mentioned with the drives, you can have a full swing to hit the ball through the offside as well. Okay, so we're going to have a drill for practicing that shortly as well. Point of contact and power position. Okay, now I won't spend too much time, so I want to get to the videos. But point of contact basically means where you hit the ball in relation to your body. Okay, now I talk to a lot of players that I work with, and this is something I do myself. I'm imagining that I'm in my batting bubble, okay? And I want you to let the ball come into your bubble before you hit it, all right? That gives you a lot of control, but it also helps you generate lots and lots of power as well, okay? So point of contact is a bit of a drill, like I said, on the activities that works, letting that ball come to you and hitting that ball inside your bubble. Power position, okay? So I'm presuming we all want to hit 4s and 6s. That's the sort of modern day way. Yes, we still need to be able to work it around, but it's great to be able to have that option of hitting 4s and 6s. So power position, again, there's a drill for this, and it's really focused on dropping your front shoulder. Okay, so for me, I'm a right-handed batter, so the bowler will be bowling from over there. I'm going to drop my left shoulder towards the ball when I've decided I'm playing forward in particular. Okay, that little drop of my left shoulder allows me to get my head forward. It also allows the rest of my body to go forward and gets me in a really strong position to generate power from all my body. Okay, rather than just my arms. These aren't big arms, small arms. Okay, so that's a little bit about the power position. So that movement and that drop of the shoulder allows your chin to be over your front knee, gets you in a really powerful position to hit that ball on the front foot. And I've touched on that. Right. So your skills and drills. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same as we did on Thursday. I'm hoping this works. I'm going to start it. If you can just tell me that you can see the video in the chat, that'd be brilliant. It's just the start bit at the minute, so we're not missing anything. Yes, brilliant. I'm a pro at this now. I've got it. Right. So I'm going to play, as we did on Thursday, I'm going to play the first drill. I'll stop it. I'll explain it. I'll take any questions. But this is for you to do. I was hoping when I asked what people be doing at the weekend, a few might have talked about the run-up drill that we did earlier this week, and maybe what we're going to talk about now. So it was supposed to snow, but I think it's going to be all right now. So if you've got some spare time on your hands, you could spend half an hour or so on that run-up, marking your run-up drill, and some of these batting practices as well, if you've got the space and things to do it. Okay, so I'm going to pop this one on, and I'll stop it after the first one.
Right, now we're going to focus on your batting setup. Now there's 3 main areas and key focuses for your setup. The first one is your grip. Now everybody will have a slightly different grip. The main 2 points to your grip is that the bat comes through with the full face of the bat when you're playing the ball, and secondly that you can play 360 degrees around the ground. Okay, so hopefully that's clear for you, but grip is something you're going to focus on. Secondly is your stance. Okay, again, there'll be variations. Might be a little bit wider, a little bit narrower, might be parallel, might be slightly open. Okay, but the main thing is that you can move forwards quickly and you can move backwards quickly in order to get into strong, stable positions to play your shot. And lastly, for me, this one's non-negotiable. And we're going to make sure that our head and our eyes in particular are level and ideally in the middle of our body, so we're nice and balanced and we can move quickly. Okay, so your first drill, or your only drill for the setup, you're going to use a mirror. I'm sure you've all got a mirror at home. Please don't be swinging your bat too much. Don't want you to hit any lights or anything that you've got in and around your mirror. But all I want you to do is just have a look at your setup. So make sure your grip is pretty good. Make sure your feet's good, and make sure your head and your eyes are level. So this gets you just to visualise, because you can see yourself practicing it, and we can just practice and make sure that those 3 things are spot on.
Perfect. So you'll probably all enjoy this, looking in the mirror. All right. So yeah, it's nothing too taxing, but this is a really, really good drill just for you to check. And if you've got the room and you're not going to smash into anything, you can play a few little shots just to check that bat's coming through straight. That's nice and good as well. Okay, so just allows you to have a look, and it's probably, in fact, you can pop in the chat box. Who's seen themselves bat and bowl and field before? I know you've been sending the videos in, but it might be the first time that you've actually seen yourself bat. It's always really handy to see what you're doing and see if there's anything that you can pick up. Because when I do the videos, I'll be looking at things that you're really good at, and we'll try and make those better. And I might be trying to point out a couple of little things that we could maybe tweak to make us even better as well. Okay, so that's the first drill. You could definitely do that today, because you don't need to leave the house. Just have a look in the mirror, and we're looking at how we're holding the bat, how we're standing, and our head position. A common thing in terms of head position will be that it's over to the offside. So if you find that you're quite strong playing through the offside, but you sometimes struggle to play through the leg side, it's probably because your head position's starting too far to the off. So it just allows you to have a look. And when you know exactly how it's supposed to be, it's just a check-in mechanism for you to check everything's good. So definitely really good for preparing for the season. Okay, right, moving on. Second drill. So I'll play it. Is there any questions on setup? If you pop them in the chat box as we're going through, I'll answer them. Okay, but now we're going to focus on pick-up and full swing. So a little bit like Steve Smith was doing.
Right, we're going to focus on our pick-up and the full swing at the back. So this helps us generate power, and it also helps us play shots all around the ground. So really good, whatever age, just to get used to having a full swing of that bat. Okay, so first practice today, ball on a tee or on a cone. And all we're going to do is 2 parts. So the first part is we're going to step out towards that ball. As we're stepping out, we're going to make sure we pick that bat up. And we're going to get the toe of the bat facing up to the sky. So we're getting a nice big pick up. The second point is then the full swing of that bat and finishing it with it over our shoulder. Okay, so it should look a little bit like this. Right, next we're going to...
Cool. Hang on. I'll pop that on while we're going off Ernest play. So that's activity 2. Now I had the ball sat on a tee. You can have the ball sat on a cone. Somebody can feed you the ball. However you can actually drop it from your chin and step out to hit it. Okay, but the 2 focuses are on the pickup, so getting that toe somewhere near pointing to the sky, and then having a full swing of that bat. I'll say, okay, so you might find that your bat is quite heavy. Okay, so I recommend sometimes, and don't go out and buy one or anything, but if you've got a plastic bat, it really does help you to feel the full flow of that bat, and it doesn't impede you actually being able to swing it. Okay, so it's just feeling the pickup and the full swing, which allows you to play 360 degrees, and it's going to get you lots and lots of power. So a really good practice. I haven't stipulated how many to do on there. I always suggest the more balls you hit, the better. Okay, so if you can hit 50, 100 balls like that, you should feel a difference from the start to the finish when you become more used to it. Okay, we're going to go on to activity 3. Just let me find it.
Right, we're going to focus on our pickup, swing of that bat. Okay, so first, 2 parts. So the facing up to the, so it should look a little bit. Right, next we're going to focus on point of contact. So by point of contact, I mean where you're hitting the ball in relation to your body. Okay, you want to be hitting the ball underneath your chin, and you want to let the ball come past your toes of your front foot. Okay, so if I show you a couple here. You might have someone to feed the ball, you might drop it yourself. Whatever works for you. You're letting that ball come past those front toes and hitting that ball. And our last activity is going to come back.
Brilliant. So point of contact. So I did zoom in there. I had a feed buddy, and I know some of you have got feed buddies, which is fine. But again, you can drop the ball if you need to, or if you've got someone to feed it, even better. You'll notice there that I'd already committed out forward, and I was holding that position, and I'd also got my bat picked up already. Okay, so that's just so you can purely focus on letting that ball come into your batting bubble, past sort of your front toes. So for me as a right hander, my left toes, and then hitting that ball. Okay, so you could do it that way, or you can step out and hit. You can build it up. It's entirely up to you. Okay, and again, the more you can hit, the better. Pop in the chat who's been caught at mid-off or in the covers, sort of reaching out for that ball to hit it. Anybody done that? I can say I've done that before. Definitely. So especially when you get a bit older and you're playing on grass, season preparation in April, it's cold, it's wet, the pitches are a bit slow. It's really, really important to let that ball come to you and play it in your bubble. Okay, so it's a really good one for season preparation as well as just general practice. Okay, so that's activity 3 for you. Last one.
All the last few things we've been working on. So we're going to look at getting into a power position. In the main, we're looking at dropping our front shoulder. So for me, it's my left shoulder that I'd be dropping down towards the ball. Okay, so one, that's going to help with me picking the bat up, which we've already covered. Secondly, it's going to get my energy and power into the ball. and it should allow me to let the ball come to me and hit. Okay, so this time you're going to go from your stance and you're going to get out into that power position and hit, but we're focusing on dropping that front shoulder. One more time, so really focus on that front shoulder drop into the ball. Perfect.
Brilliant. So there are your 4 sort of fundamental batting activities and drills for you to do. So that last one again, you're in your normal stance. Somebody ideally feeds you the ball, or the feed buddy would feed it. And the first movement, if you can think about dropping that shoulder and your head going towards the ball, that's going to get you into that power position that we've spoke about. Okay. As always, if you want to send in your videos, you can do. If I just play that on, there's all our social media channels and stuff, and I know your parents, guardians have got my number if you want to send them in to me for some specific feedback. But yeah, get stuck into them, hit as many balls as you can. I can promise you, I guarantee you, using those 4 drills, and if you do them well and hit enough balls, you're going to feel an awful lot better at the end than you did at the start. Okay, and a bit like I touched on with the bowling, if you get your setup right, everything else falls into place. A bit like when you get your run up right, everything else falls into place. Right, a couple of things I want to cover, but let's just take a pause. Is there anybody that's got any questions about any of those 4 activities? Anything you want to clarify? Obviously, they can be done in the garden. If you go into a park or an open space today to your run-up stuff, you could do it there. Might be good if you take your dog with you to fetch the balls. But any questions on any of those drills? Again, they'll be on YouTube, so you can access them. Everything at the minute is on YouTube. I have tried to upload the bowling run-up because there was activity 2, which was silent. It's on my video as in noise, and then it doesn't upload properly. But activity 2 is it's the same as activity 1, but with your eyes closed. But remember, please have somebody with you and be in a big open space. They don't have to be done at the weekend. No, not at all. You can do them whenever you want. This is just the first week. There'll be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week. You can do any of these activities whenever you want. Okay, I'm just taking you through a process. But yeah, you can do them whenever you want. No more questions. We're happy. If there are, just pop them in. Right. Week 2. Okay, so we've completed week 1. We've got 4 weeks in total. So this is the schedule for week 2. I will be emailing it out. So I'll send it out probably this evening. I'm going to take the dogs out shortly. But this afternoon or this evening, I'll send through an email with all the details for next week. Okay, but so you know, this is the schedule. Routines. I won't say too much, but we're going to look at individual routines. We're going to look at team routines and things that you can do. Okay, a little bit about the mental side of the game, but really, really interesting, and probably things that you might not have done before. And I'll show you some examples of batters and bowlers and their routines. Thursday, batting analysis. Again, this will be on the email, but you'll notice there that there's group 1, group 2, and group 3. Okay, so I'm going to send this afternoon, I'll send your name next to which group you're in. The younger ones, so if you're 8, 9, 10, you're going to be in group 1. There's quite a lot that are sort of 11 and 12, so you'll be in group 2 or group 3, and then the older ones will be in will be in group 3. Okay, it's essential that you've sent me at least your batting video, because it's all about you and your batting and your analysis. So if you haven't sent me a video, I'm not saying it's pointless, but I'm not going to be able to get your video up on the screen and talk you through the things you're doing well and the things I can hopefully advise to make you even better. Okay, so really, really make sure you get those videos to me, at least your batting one, by the end of the weekend, so I can get everything ready for that session. And this time next week on the Saturday, we're going to do a bit of circuit stuff. So we'll probably look at some cardio stuff, some stretching stuff, just get you nice and active. So you're not going to be sat in front of the screen too much. We're going to be doing some physical activity. I don't think I've missed anything. I think that is everything. So thanks again for your time. Have a great weekend. If you can, check those the run-up drills out, check the batting drills out. Give them a good go this weekend. But enjoy your weekend. Fingers crossed for your football teams. I know there's going to be some unhappy people because there's a lot of teams playing each other today. But have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. See you all later.
See ya.
See you later.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. See you soon.